Hello, I'm Joseph. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make a classic burger flyer. The method I'm going to use in designing this flyer is a very simple one. If you follow this method, you're going to create exactly what we're going to create now, and it will actually broaden your horizon and enlighten you more on how to go about flyers and designs like this. Okay, at this point, let's go into the system and start the design. Alright, now first of all, what you have to do is to go into your Photoshop, because this is the software we're going to be using for this design. You go into Photoshop. Photoshop is the software we're using for this design. Okay, this is Photoshop interface. Now, before you start up any design, you have to know the dimension of the design you want to do. So this is a social media flyer we're going to be using, we're going to be designing. So we're going to be using a square dimension. So that you use 4x4, 2x2, 3x3, anything, let it be square. Alright, so first of all, for you to start, open a workspace or your canvas, press Ctrl N. Now when you press your Ctrl N, it takes you to new document. So it is here that you set up your workspace. Alright, so this is our unit of measurement. This is where we pick our unit of measurement. We're going to be using inches. We're going to be doing 4x4 inches. We're going to be doing 4x4 inches. Okay, 4x4. We're going to leave our resolution to 300 pixels per inch. In our color mode, we're going to keep it at CMYK. We're going to keep it at CMYK. Alright, so at this point, what you're going to do is to hit your create, hit create. Then this is your canvas. This is your canvas. You can decide to unlock your background, then blind this layer and create the background you want to create. So this is very, very important, creating the background you want to create so that you have control over your background. So I'm going to go to the toolbox, get my rectangle tool, then create the background I want. Okay, this is my background. It has gradient. I can actually cancel the gradient by clicking here. Okay, I can actually come here, click here, and pick the color I want. Should be using something in the family of orange. Okay, I think this is not far from what we want. Okay, alright. So at this point, I think this is not bad. We're going to be using this shade of orange. Okay, so now at this point we're going to duplicate this background. If we duplicate the background, we can change the color and make it gradients. We're going to be changing the color. This is what we're going to do. We're going to using different shades of red, a darker shade of red and a lighter shade of red for this gradient, so that it gets from dark to light. The saturation of this color, the gradient moves from dark to light. So I can actually increase and drag this in. Okay, let me first of all check it. I think this is okay with me. Okay, for what I want to do. I press Ctrl T. Okay, sorry, I mistakenly pressed Ctrl J. So I press Ctrl T. So at this, I hold down Shift and Alt and scale it in. Then reduce the height. Now at this point, I want to create something that looks like a V shape. A V shape. So I have to hold down Shift Alt and Control. Shift, Control and Alt, then scale it in to get my V shape. Alright, once I'm done with that, I release the keys. Then I can scale and reduce the height of my banner and reduce the height of my banner. Alright, this is it. Now, at this point, I might want to put a splash in the background. So we'll get an ellipse tool. Create, don't bother about the perspective of the ellipse too much. Do not bother about it much. Okay, at this point I have to change the color of my ellipse tool. Let me make it something like yellow, like this shade of yellow. Okay, and increase scale, Ctrl T and scale it up a bit. Now once I've gotten this, the next thing for me to do is to go to my menu box, go to menu bar, go to menu rather, go to menu, go to filter, then blur, Gaussian blur, go to menu, click filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Alright, you say rasterize. So now at this point, this is where you choose, okay, yes, how you want the blur edges to be. Alright, so this is, at this point you increase the radius of your ellipse. That increase, as you're increasing it, reducing it is the blur edges are reducing. If you increase it, it gets more blurry. Okay, so depending on what you want to achieve, I think this is okay for me. So at this point you hit OK. At this point you hit OK. The next thing you're going to do here, very quick, just go to, let's go to where I have my burger image, drag it into Photoshop, and okay, drag it into Photoshop, allow it to drop. Okay, now it has dropped, but the layer of this burger is behind the layer of the banner, the red banner. So I drag the layer up. So this is it. I scale it, Ctrl T, scale it down a bit, then bring it, scale it down a bit more, holding down Shift and Alt, then bring it down a bit. This is it. Now you might want to, you might want to put your offset. This offset can guide you. You can actually do it manually or come to view, come to new guideline. This is it. Okay, so we have it at top left, bottom right at 0.3 inch. Okay, so this is it. This is our offset. At this point, let me just create the next. Okay, at this point we will move to adding shadow, a little shadow under the burger to make it rest. Okay, I can use my pen tool. You can actually use your pen tool and create a shape. Okay, yeah, don't be particular about the shape. You just have to create a shape that you can now convert to your. Okay, don't bother about the shape. Okay, at this point you need to, this shape you've created, looking at it, is on top of the layer of the border, so we have to drag it down because we actually want to use it as a shadow. So once you drag it down, you can right click, rasterize, go to filter, go to blur, go to Gaussian blur, then you reduce the blur to the point you want it to be. Okay, think this is better. I think this is better. This is okay. Let's think this is good. So I say okay. So if you take the density of the shadow is too much, you can reduce your shadow, the opacity of the shadow. If you think the shadow is too thick, you can reduce the opacity of the shadow to make it lighter. Okay, once you've gotten this is fine. Now let's go to the splash we did under. Control T it, let's scale it up so that it occupies more space in the design. So to add to the visual appeal. Okay, I think this is okay. So get it this way. Alright, so this was what it was before and this is it now. So I think with this we'll have a better visual appeal. Alright, the next thing for us to do now is to click on this burger, Control M to curve and blend the burger with the environment. Okay, this is actually good. Now the next thing for us to do is to start writing. What we're going to write here is super delicious burger. Then the next thing that will be there is 50% off. Super delicious burger, 50% off. Then order now. We put the number, they'll put the website and the icons. Then we're done. So first of all, let's pick the text tool, then write. Okay, burger. We're writing it in capital. Burger, capital letter. Let's change the font. Capture it. Okay, we'll press Ctrl T to scale it up. Press Ctrl T to scale it up. Get it to the point you want it. Now at this point, as you're designing, never be scared to make adjustments on what you have already designed. So if there is any reason you should do an adjustment, always do the adjustment because it will actually enhance the visual appeal of your design. So at this point now, I'm going to select the burger. And the shadow. Then take it down a bit. Okay, take it down a bit. Okay, or probably reduce the size of the burger. I think that is better. Let's reduce the size of the burger so that we can have more space here. Okay, so we can have more space here. So I bring down the burger, then write super. Okay, change the text, change the font. Yeah. Alright, can scale it, Ctrl T, scale it up. Should try as much as possible not to allow it to go out of my offset. Okay, the next thing I should write is delicious in capital. Delicious. Okay, can make that. Let's change the fonts. Okay. Now I change the color of my font to the color of the burger to white. The same with super. Change it to white. then delicious, I can actually leave it and make it yellow. Then scale it down. Scale it down. Push it in. Alright. Now you should remember that alignment and balance is very important in your design. Alignment and balance. Okay, now we've gotten this way. Pretty good. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be adding some elements in the background that will also increase the visual appeal. We're going to be adding some elements in the background that is going to increase the visual appeal. Okay, so I go to my folder where I have the elements that I need. Bring in this pepper. Okay, bring it in. Scale it down as it drop. Scale it down. Scale it down. Now the layer is under the banner, so I have to drag it up. Drag it up. If I drag it up, then I can rasterize by right-clicking. Right-click and rasterize to make it editable. Then go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. Okay, reduce blur. Okay, then I can hold down Alt and duplicate this, and duplicate it again to this point. Then I go bring the green pepper. Okay, scale it down. Scale it down. Rasterize it. Right click and rasterize it. Get my polygonal lasso tool. Then zoom in. And select this particular pepper, right click on it and say layer via copy. So just copy only this, then I can actually delete this, select this and hit delete. It is deleted. I have only this left. Then I press Ctrl T and rotate. Then position it somewhere here. Position it somewhere here and go to filter, blur. Gaussian blur, leave it at the same level. Now at this point, this is where, okay, I can actually move this up, so I'll have space to write the website and order now. Okay, you can take this up a bit. Okay. Now go to my shapes, get the rounded rectangle at this point. You get the rounded rectangle, then create a banner. Make sure you change the color to any of the colors you want. Let's make it red. Okay. Now inside this, you can actually, let me duplicate this. Change the color to white by holding Alt. I duplicated this by holding Alt and dragging it. So let me change this to white. Change it to white. Zoom in. Alright. So zoom in, drag the layer up. And drag the layer of this up. This is where I'm going to be writing order now. Okay, order now. Okay, so scale it down, Ctrl T, scale it down. Under it, put the number to call to order. Okay. Alright. Duplicate, Ctrl J, bring it down, Ctrl T, scale it up, then write the number. I can just put any number here. So at this point I can just do 555 thin 555-555. Okay, so this is the number to call. This is the number to call. Alright. Now the next thing to do is to put phone icon. The next thing is to put the phone icon. So let me go back. We have, okay, I think this is good. Drag this. If it cannot drag, let me go through this point. Open. Icons. Let me get this into another canvas, then drag it into my workspace. Scale it down, Ctrl T. Scale it down, Ctrl T. Okay, bring it to where you want it to be. Make sure it's aligned. Then double click on the layer of the phone icon to change the color, because it's a bitmap. So how we're going to change the color is through color overlay. Click on color overlay. If the color you want is not white, you can double click here and change it to any color you want. But what we want is white, so I'm okay with this. I say okay. So we've gotten our color overlay. The phone icon is now, excuse me, we've gotten our color overlay and our phone icon is white. So the next thing for you to do is to write the website. So I get a website icon first of all, position it. Okay, so let me come through here. First of all, delete this. I'm done with it. Open. Go to the folder where I have the phone and the web icon. Drag it into my composition. Scale it down, Ctrl T. Scale it down. Scale it to the size I want it to be. Make sure it doesn't go out of your. Make sure it doesn't go out of. Zoom in. Make sure it doesn't go out of the offset. Okay. So at this point, can press Ctrl J. Then duplicate this. Then the next thing for you to do is to write your website name. So depending on what is your website or the website of the company you're working for, so just write your website here. Okay, so this is where you put your website. Let's align it with this. Then we select our number, align it at the same level. Then order now, select it, hold down sheet, select the banner and order now, then balance it on top of the number, then zoom out. Then the web icon, we're going to still do the same thing. Double click on the layer of the phone icon and change the do color overlay for it to change the color to white. Alright, so this is it, and we can actually go back to our shapes, then go to custom shape. From here we can get a custom shape for the 50% off. Okay, 50% off. Come here, change your color to whatever you want, lighter red. Okay, then this is where you write your 50% off. So we duplicate this, bring it here, move the layer up. Okay, now this is where we write the 50% off. 50% off. Hold shift, click on the percentage. You can decide to make it bold. This is area regular, you can make it bold because we want it to be bold. Alright, okay, so we have this here, and wow, this thing is really wow. Okay, there was actually a problem as I was trying to duplicate the as I was trying to duplicate to write the 50% off. I discovered that I mistakenly moved out the number, so we're going to rewrite the number. So I duplicated your website here, then write 555 hyphen 555 hyphen 555. So this is your number here. Okay. Alright, so at this point you can actually try out, see how it will look, the visual impression we're going to have by still clicking on the splash on the background, clicking Ctrl T and increasing it. It gives us better visual appeal. We take it. Okay, I think this is better. Let me check it before and now. Not much difference. I leave it to what it was before. Okay. Alright, I think we're done here. This is very simple and basic. If this video have helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe and also share the videos. Thank you very much for watching.